An grúpa regúnach I cheachta Peadar Tobin.
Tom worked within the Irish Prison Service as an Assistant Chief Officer based in A Block in Portlaoise Prison. This block houses some of the most notorious and dangerous prisoners in the country. Prisoners include the Kinahans, the Dundons, and many more criminals who are household names. This is a high-pressured environment where violence and a threat to life is a real and constant concern for prison officers. It's alleged in October 2018 a prisoner came to the Governor Parade of Portlaoise and stated to the Governor that 3 officers were constantly coming into his cell, and in his words he said he felt that they wanted him to do damage to Tom, the Assistant Chief Officer. There was a high-level meeting held afterwards between the governors regarding what the prisoner said. However, it is alleged that no action was taken at all. Tom, who was the target of these words, alleged that he was advised to carry on working and wait till there was a written complaint made before a course of action would be taken. Tom worked in this extremely pressurised environment for another 16 months until finally a prisoner came forward and made a Category A complaint. And a Category A complaint is the highest complaint that a person can make within the prison service. That complaint was investigated by an external investigator called John Naughton. A number of prison officers and prisoners, including Freddie Thompson, a convicted murderer, were interviewed. Other prisoners confirmed what Thompson had alleged. They said many prisoners can't handle the situation and will turn to violence. A governor also gave evidence. He told the investigator that some of the initiatives that he introduced were subversively resisted by some of the prison officers. The 3 senior officers, the targets of the remarks, also gave evidence. One stated that on his arrival to the block, one of the basic grade officers told him, "We do not like you, we did not send for you, we do not want you, you won't be staying here, we will run you off A Block." Shockingly, the independent Naughton report into the situation found that there was undeniably that some officers were making comments to deliberately undermine the work of senior officers, and that there were grounds for the initial complaint. We know this information because Mick Clifford...
Deputy, just I was trying to listen carefully to what you're saying because you're treading very close to identifying people, and there's a standing order here. We'll just stop the clock for a minute. I'm not going to use your time, but just, you know, you can't identify people. And I was listening carefully, and I'm just putting you on notice in relation to it.
I've made a special effort not to identify names of individuals here, and I'm also quoting from a report that was carried out by an independent investigator called John Naughton into this. And the reason we know this information is because Mick Clifford of the Irish Examiner has done extensive work into this, and he has reported these elements in the Irish Examiner. Following that report, it is alleged that the staff members were not sanctioned, that they continued to work within the prison, and that the only action that was taken was that they would attend a workshop. Taoiseach, this is not good enough, and there needs to be a full investigation into what's happened here. Do you not agree?
Thanks very much, Deputy. I'm very sorry to hear about Tom's experiences and the issues that you raise. But I think, as the Lascan Corla alluded to, these are very specific allegations. They involve unnamed individuals who perhaps could be identified as a result of the comments that you've made. I'm not familiar with, and I haven't read the report that you referred to, so I'm really not in a position to offer further comment on this, but I will certainly let the Minister for Justice know that you raised this issue here, and perhaps she can engage with you directly or correspond with you.
These are very serious allegations, and I've thought long and hard about putting these allegations onto the floor of the Dáil. And the reason I have is because I have called the Director General of the Prison Service a number of times to see can I discuss these issues with her. I've also put a question to the Minister for Justice with regards why actions weren't taken on the back of the Naughton report, which is an actual report. And the Minister for Justice hasn't given me any information as to why actions weren't taken. I followed up as best I could all of the avenues that you would expect a TD who seeks to have justice done for individuals working on the pay of the state to do. But so far, I found the doors have been blocked to me with this regard, and that's why I have no option but to raise it here with yourself as well. The one thing I will say is that if these allegations are true, if it is true that people in the pay of the states have undermined other people in the pay of the states to the level in which it has cost them dearly, which they're no longer working. I know also of a protective disclosure that's been made by another prison officer from the same prison. I know also of other individuals working in that prison who are out of work at the moment due to the situation.
Thank you, Deputy.
I believe there's a systemic problem here, and I believe that the only way to resolve it is for the Tánaiste to take the bull by the horns, to work with the Minister for Justice and ensure there's an investigation into this.
Thank you, Deputy. Tánaiste.
Thanks, Deputy. I'm sorry I can't be more helpful on this matter. These obviously are very serious allegations, and any allegations that are made obviously have to be investigated, and people against whom allegations are made also have rights to the fundamental right to answer any allegations made against you and to be considered innocent until you're proven guilty. And that's why I'd rather not stray into the space, not knowing the specifics and not having heard from any of the people involved. But I appreciate that the Deputy has tried to raise this through other means and has chosen to raise it here in the Chamber. And I will see the Minister for Justice today, and I'll certainly let her know that the Deputy is concerned about this matter and would like a more detailed response if that is possible.